You never lose. You always learn.
That's
You
right.
got to do what's right. Your reputation, going to bed knowing that you've done whatever you needed to do the right thing. There's no price.
All right, welcome to Opportunity Knocks. I'm your host, Todd Patton, and today we have our number one pool builder and pool maintenance guy. Is it a maintenance guy? Is that fair to say? How do we call it? Service?
Yeah, pool service.
Yeah. Nilson, man, what a pleasure to have you here. Nilson Silva of Master Touch. And if you live in Parkland, you've heard of Master Touch. They're everywhere. I've loved seeing the journey of you building this business. You know, I've been in Parkland for 7 years, and I've seen every year it seems like there's more Master Touch trucks out there, which I love seeing. But first of all, welcome to Opportunity Knocks.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak on your podcast. It's an honor to be here. My name is Nilson Silva. I'm the owner of Master Touch Outdoor Living. Been in Parkland for 7 years now. So
awesome. Tell me the story of how you got started. Now your background, you're Brazilian.
Yes.
So
my parents brought me to the U.S. when I was. Actually, my mom brought me to the U.S. with my sister. I have an older sister who lives in Parkland. She's 52 now. I'm 36. I'm going to be 36 in a month, March.
Okay.
So they brought me to Pompano. We wanted to get a better living than Brazil. I went to Deerfield Beach Middle Elementary, middle and high, and I hated going to school. I struggled. My ADHD or whatever you want to call it was just there.
School was,
and I was like, school's not for me. So I took an SAT, got a really low score. I'm like, what am I doing here? I just can't do it. I had a family member that was in the pool business, and I was like, going back home to Brazil was not an option. Going to college to be a software engineer was not an option because I hated.
And you didn't do good at SATs, weren't
so I was
you?
like, I'm not gonna get a scholarship.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna make it. I gotta figure it out. So I was a waiter for a little while, learning, trying to just make a buck here and there. Did a bunch of Italian restaurant, and I was good at sales. So I was like, I can do this. So this family member at the time was doing pools, but he couldn't scale the business. So I ran Craigslist ads. I don't know if you remember that.
Of course.
60% of all home service came from Craigslist. Craigslist would rank on Google within 10 minutes.
Now, this is for pool cleaning or building?
For pool cleaning.
Okay.
So he was cleaning pools, and I wanted to learn. So I started writing with him a little bit, got a job at a pool company, but I was like, I can't work for this guy. He doesn't know what he's doing. He might be great at pools, but he can't run a business. And I was like, I can do it better. So while working with him, I started buying my equipment, and I told him, hey, I'm going to go on my own eventually. So I ended up going eventually on my own.
How old were you at this time?
I was 21.
Damn.
I was 21.
This is Master Touch?
Yes,
that's
Master Touch.
Wow.
So amazing. I didn't know what I was doing, but I could figure it out. I'm like, I can figure this out. So I started cleaning pools, got good at it, got licensed, got insured, and started building a little bit of a reputation. But
were
I
you
would
living
serve. I was in Pompano.
Oh, so
I was
east.
Actually, by 95, where I was in the hood, I would say. Nothing against that, but I was right by 95 in Pompano. So I would try to grow the business on that area, but I would service West Palm, Miami. You had a pool, I would go.
Miami.
I would had to do what I had to do. I mean, I was struggling. I couldn't. If you don't have 100 pools of your own, or you're a sub for someone, you're gonna have to grab pools everywhere. So I grabbed pools anywhere I could. So I started growing that for a little while. Then I picked up investors because in 2009 had the crash. Market crash. All the banks had a bunch of
wholesalers were buying them.
Correct. But the issue was every pool was black because all the tenants left, all the homeowners left, and all these pools were just black. So the banks were paying me to clean them up because the city was fining them. So I would go there and start cleaning them. And throughout doing this, some banks were like, can you remodel it? Because this was a mess. I'm like, sure, I'll figure it out.
So you had the bank sending you business. Oh, that's amazing.
I mean, I had Blackstone. I don't know if you remember. Yeah. Blackstone owned 5,200 homes in South Florida. Just South Florida.
Blackstone's the biggest, they're the number one, I think.
But they ran under Invitation Homes. They're still around. You still can rent from Invitation Homes. So Invitation Homes, which was backed by Blackstone, owned a bunch of homes. So at one point, I think I had 300 pool services from them, just them alone. They were maintaining 300 pools with us. So I
Jeez.
started. A lot
That's
of
a
people,
great start.
a lot of people are like, "You're self-made." I'm godly made because it was not me. It was God that somehow gave me that opportunity. So I started just. I always say, "Look, I don't know how I got here, but I got here. I figure it out. Sometimes I don't know how to do something, but I'm great at. Okay, I can do it."
And I can tell you this is you're honest. You're an honest, not you're the company, you're honest people. And I could tell that because even when I first met you, it's like you just say it how it is. You're not going to fluff it. You're going to say, and you just told me during the podcast, what we just talked about earlier was, you know, you tell people there's going to be issues. I'm not going to, it's not going to be perfect.
Look, think about it. You're married to a person. I've been married for 14 years, going to 15. We still got issues. We sleep together every day. We talk all the time, and we still got issues. Imagine a guy just trying your backyard, digging for 3 months in your comfort zone, making your backyard a mess, sometimes showing up without letting you know because there was rain at North Lauderdale and you're running to Parkland, whatever the case is, you're not going to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, why didn't you tell me? Hey, I forgot. We're all humans. So if I tell you, hey, everything's going to be perfect, I'm a liar. I don't
Mm-hmm.
like to lie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't lie. I will say, hey, you're going to hate me in the beginning. You're going to be happy at the end because I'm going to deliver something that I'm proud of.
I'll fix it. Whatever goes wrong.
Look,
And that's the confidence of knowing that you're going to get it done.
I mean, I've had to literally demo a pool and redo it over because I wasn't happy with it. Or some competitors might love me saying this because they're like, you're too honest. But the honest and the truth remains once. Like, it remains the same throughout. So I don't like to say I've never made a mistake. I like to say I will fix my mistake and you're going to be happy at the end.
Jeez, that's wild. I can't
It's,
believe
it's cost of doing business. Sometimes you never lose. You always learn.
That's
You
right.
got to do what's right. Your reputation, going to bed knowing that you've done whatever you needed to do the right thing, there's no price. If it costs us my peace, costs us too much. I've said no to the clients. People are racist. People are rude. Sometimes I'll approach a client. They're extremely rude. I'm like, I don't think there's a fit here. It's just not going to go.
It's with me building one home, I've probably had 5 companies that wanted to be part of it, and I said I don't want to work with this person because I know I'm going to be going to bat. I'm going to be like referring this person, talking about if they're not giving me that feel that I could trust them and homeowners can trust them. I'm not working with them. It's not. There's not enough.
Look, I think we're blessed to have the opportunity to choose our clients. Not every client's my client.
Right.
You get what I'm trying to say?
Yes,
Like,
I do. Yes.
I love everyone. Everybody's welcome, but not everybody is welcome to my home.
Right.
And that person might take my peace away because they're crazy or their expectations are unreal. I think after COVID, people's expectations were like now.
Yes. Yeah.
And what do?
Yeah.
Just there's only so much I can do to please you.
Uh-huh. And it's just
and there's that entitlement. Hey, I deserve this. Like, no, you want that. You don't deserve. We don't deserve anything. We deserve what God wants us to do it. But like, I don't know. I'm a weird guy, and I say, look, I'm the type of contractor that either you love me or you hate me. But I guarantee you, I'm gonna give you my best, and I'm gonna be fully motivated from day one.
I love it, man. And that's working. All. So keep doing what you're doing because it's working great and you're growing this business. Talk about, and look, if somebody's thinking of starting a business or doing that, I love your story of, starting from scratch, learning almost like an apprentice type thing under your family member. And also seeing during that experience, seeing things, hey, you know what? I didn't like how he did this. I'm going to do this different, or I'm going to do that. But
you have to be open-minded. You're always learning. Like, I don't take no for an answer. So if you gave me a no, I'm going to be like, Todd, how can we make it work? No, Todd, I'm going to knock on your door and be like, you're going to call the cops because of trespassing because I'm going to harass you until I get that answer. Yes. So in the business, get the mentality of, look, I'm going to get it done. How? I don't know, but I'm going to get it done. And when I mean get it done, not in an unethical way. Do what's right to make it work. Sometimes you're working extremely hard and it is not meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
But always be open to learning something. I did something that people think I'm crazy, and this is a good story to others. I moved into a brand new community. Think about it. Your average home in that community is about $1 million. Every light in the ceiling needed to be replaced because there were the recessed ones that the builder did extremely ugly. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna grab every light fixture. I'm gonna post it on Facebook and offer for free. All my employees were like, "You're crazy. This is a nice community. Nobody's gonna want that $20 light." All I did was remove the lights, put newer ones that were flush with the
Uh-huh.
ceiling.
Uh-huh.
I think I bought them on Amazon for $6 a piece. But homeowners inside my community had lights that were burnt that the builder never gave them extra ones. Also, they never would put a ladder to go up there to see what brand it was so they could order. You
So you
agree?
saved these or you had them?
I had them because I removed them,
Yeah.
put it in a
Lovely.
box, went in my Facebook community, and I was like, if you want a free light, I have at least 150 of them. And people are like, how much you want for? I'm like, I don't want anything. I want you to come here and grab it. So every person that walked in my door, I shook their hand, gave them my business card, said I was their new neighbor,
That's
and here's
awesome.
your free light. I picked up 3 pools because of that.
That's awesome.
How much did that lead cost me?
What
I
a-
was going to replace the light anyway. So I was like, you know what? All my doors are white. My designer said I needed to paint the house, the inside beige. I hate it, but I hired her and she thought it was good. I did it. Came out beautiful. She goes, but all your doorknobs got to be replaced to black. Another opportunity. I'm going to give all my doorknob the handles to everybody. So I posted on Facebook again. Hey guys, if
Free.
you need this, it's free. People came in and I offered. What did I do? I just became known in the community.
That's called opportunity knocks. You it knocked and you took advantage of it.
And you're
That's
just being a
great.
good human. Sometimes
Yeah.
you're trying to make money on $20.
That's right.
But I'd rather you owe me favor than owe me money. Because if you owe me favor, you can't pay a favor.
Right. And not to mention, Nilson, how many because referrals you get from those 3. So that you got 3 accounts from it.
Just got to make sure you do a good job.
Yeah.
But think about it. If you spend on Google $100, like you're gambling. Now you give a light, you're known in the community. You see your next door neighbor, you
Great.
pull in their garbage can and you say, "Hey, thank you." For example, a lot of people don't know how to literally shop vac your AC, right? I know how to do it.
Uh-huh.
What do? I go on Facebook. I'm like, "Hey guys, it's extremely hot. Pick up the summer, May 5th. It's hot. Don't wait until your AC dies at 3 in the morning. Make sure you change your filters.
Yeah.
And look, I'm going to show you how to do a shop vacuum."
You
Boom.
made a video?
I made a video and I posted on my Facebook. And I said it. Hey guys, I'm not an AC guy. I'm a pool builder. But this is how I'm doing it. Just in case you guys need it, let me know. If you need a shop vacuum, I have them. Now what? Now they're going to call me and be like,
That's
This
awesome.
guy
Or
can
they
fit-
just learned a tip from you. They're like, man, that's
now they
you're building-
remember me. They might have to go back on my Facebook to look at that video. So what did I create? Authority. Like now they.
That's right.
So you keep doing
Trust.
that over and over. Often I will say, "Hey, I'll just give you an advice for free. You're looking to build a pool. You haven't signed up with me, or you're not going to.
Don't
You
worry
signed
about
up
it.
with.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. I'll help you. What do you
That's
need?"
awesome, man. That's a great tip. Now, talk about because you built a big team here. I mean, you have a. And by the way, if you haven't seen Nilson's office, the showroom's awesome, man. What
Thank
you've
you.
done
I
there, the
appreciate
tech
it.
in there and everything, is impressive. But you have a big team. Talk about how do you keep them motivated? How did you recruit them? Like how do you? Because that's
You're
people
average.
struggle with this.
So
you know?
look, you are the average people, the 5 people you hang out with, right? So I try to hire within, hire their friends, hire from churches, hire from places that I go to. And one of the things that I say is always hiring. Go to a restaurant, the guy serves you well, hire him. Why not? He's a great salesperson.
So how does that look like if you're eating dinner and
And
somebody
I
comes
like
up,
a guy. I'm like, look, you're really good at what you do. Are you tired of just making the same amount of money for the rest of your life? You want to grow? Because I don't think you want to see yourself as 6 years old just bussing tables, right, or serving. Yeah, here's my card. I do pools. If you like outdoors or you're good at sales, here's an opportunity. I've
You
hired
hire people like that.
all the time.
That's cool. That's awesome.
I've learned something
That's great.
from Stephen Popkin. He owned the biggest ice cream truck in Coral Springs. Great guy, him and his wife, and they always would say, "You hire slow and you fire fast.
Mm-hmm.
But you always should be hired."
Mm-hmm.
So if you've got qualified guys out there, hire them, and then you figure it out the rest.
Where they'll work or the position will be.
I think the secret is building a culture.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
build a
that's what I
culture
wanted to
that
ask
where
you. How do you
they
do? Because you're talking about recruiting and this, but you keep people in here, and I've seen inside the office. How do you build that culture? Is it events that you do?
I mean, you want to look people in the eye, you want to shake, you want to
Yeah.
dream for them. The day they stop dreaming for themselves, they're dead. So you want to know.
So you get to know what
You
they're-
have to.
Yeah.
You have to. I mean, I have a strategy where if I gotta fire someone, I don't do it. My other guys do it. That way, I look good at all times. However, you're always trying to motivate them. Like, what do you like? Some people are motivated by money, but others are motivated by a hug, by a thank you. So I try to know each person, and I shouldn't say this on a body, but categorize them.
Yeah.
What this person likes.
Yeah.
What are their
No,
dislikes?
that's a great. Are you kidding me? That's not being general. That's being specific. And if you know,
It's just that nowadays everybody's like, "Don't touch me, don't do this." Like, you're not gonna fit in the culture.
No.
Get out.
exactly.
I will joke. I'm like, "That's all you sold? I got this. I'm gonna sell it more." But I'm just trying to motivate
Yeah.
them to go to the next step.
Yeah.
Some people get offensive. Oh,
Take
you're
a jab at
creating
it. That's fun.
you're creating like a competition unnecessary. No, like people, especially males, are motivated by, "You can't do it. I'm gonna prove it to you."
And
So
like you said, it's the culture. You know if they're a good fit or not good fit, and if they can't handle something like that, it's the culture you build, and that's fun to me.
but you got to be very careful because some people
Yeah.
just like So within 3 months, you know if that person is going to work.
Yep.
Because they'll give you traits of if they lie, if they're on time. Like some people just can't show up on time. So I'm like, okay, you
that's
can
a
show
big
up.
problem.
It's
now.
a big problem.
Yeah.
And they're like, but I show. So I have a person that works for me, and never on time. But the person goes, but I don't lie. I can sell. I'm like, no. Not lying is mandatory.
Yeah.
Showing up on time is mandatory.
Yeah. Right.
Showing up clean is mandatory. Like, tell me something that you've done well. No. Telling the truth, you're supposed to.
Yeah.
Like, if you tell me, hey, I can sell anything, that's something that I gotta give you props. But showing up on time, not lying, those are
That's
just
your job.
normal
Yeah,
human
Yeah.
things you should do as a
Right,
regular
right,
person.
right.
So, but they're entitled, right?
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, I've never missed work."
well,
you're not supposed to.
Yeah, that's a job.
Like, so
That's the whole. You know what? That's the whole society now. It's unfortunate, but that's just how. And I think COVID had a lot to do with that. The laziness. I work from home, or I can do this. Man, what happened to the days of no? You got to be on time. You got to be earlier. If you're not being on time.
So I always say, look, if your work is at 9, if you're there at 9 o'clock, you're late. You're
Yeah.
supposed to be there 9:50. Why? Everybody comes in, puts their stuff into on top of the table. Then they'll go to the bathroom. Then they'll go make coffee. Then they'll go drink water. By the time they start working, 9:15. You just literally stole
Yeah.
from me 20 minutes
Yeah.
that I have to pay you.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I'm
Yeah.
not.
Now you're not looking like that, but yeah, it's a fact. That's
But then at 5 o'clock, they're gone.
that tells you.
But what do you
something.
mean?
Yeah.
You took 15 minutes because you're only producing after your computer's on and you're typing.
Mm-hmm.
If you're walking around saying hello to your friends,
Mm-hmm.
you just literally imagine if you have 10 employees, that takes 20 minutes. That's 200 minutes.
Jesus. That's wild. to
That's
think about it
almost
that way.
3 hours.
Yeah, times.
So think about it. If 10 employees every day take 20 minutes, 10 employees, that's 3 hours you're losing a day. Times 5, that's 15 hours.
And that's times.
That's 2 employees that didn't work, that you paid that didn't work. If they work 8 hours a day, 8 times 2, 16. and you've literally spent, but we're not realizing. For example, guys go to Home Depot. They go to Home Depot, especially if they're male. They'll look at every tool out there. So what we try to do is avoid them going to Home Depot because it takes them
Right.
20 minutes to get there, then 20 minutes to pick up something, then in the line, then they lose their focus. You just lost a lot of time.
Yeah. So basically, looking at it's funny because I spoke to entrepreneurs, and I used to do a workshop called Dominate Your Industry when I had my agency, digital marketing company. And the first thing I talked about was, now this is entrepreneurs, not employees, but I said, your time, you got to put a dollar sign next to it. People don't realize this. They'll think if they're building a business, oh, I'll just do the press release, I'll write it. Well, no, that costs you money. You think it's free, but
what
if
I
it
say
takes you
is
2 hours to do it.
grab how much money you've made on your tax return, divide it by 12 months, or divide it by 365 days, and know, hey, my day's worth
Yeah.
$1,000,
Yep.
$500, whatever
Yeah.
the case is.
Whatever it is. Yeah.
If I leave my home to make less than $500, I can't.
Exactly.
My minimum is 500.
That's it.
Or
It's
1,000
putting
or
a
whatever.
dollar next to.
So
Yeah.
there are things that I'm like, I can't do it.
What about staff that you've had that have you've seen them rise up and have new positions? Has anybody started as like low level?
Yeah, I've had guys started as a pool cleaner and become a partner in the company. Not at Master Touch. I built a different company and I gave it to them.
Jeez,
Look,
that's
people
awesome.
gotta grow.
Yeah.
You can only go as far as you can alone.
Do you guys do any acquisitions? Have you?
Yeah, we've that company that I gave it to this employee,
You
we
bought a
acquired.
company.
Yeah.
Do you look at? That's awesome.
But nowadays, you acquire based on talent. You don't acquire based on clients. It's not easy. The competition sucks so bad
Yeah.
that you don't have to try really hard to get a client.
Jeez.
But you acquire talents. Like you want to go into a company and be like, this guy's a superstar. This guy's not. That's what you want.
You're talking about the people that are actually doing the staff that's there.
Because if they're getting for acquisition, either they're in a path they're flat, but you're never really gonna acquire a guy that it's
Why would he
growing.
sell?
Why
Yeah.
would he sell?
Yeah. That's awesome, man.
So like I'm always looking at opportunities. Like if I spend, and again my acquisition is small. Let's say I spend 200 grand on an acquisition. Can I grab that 200 grand and invest it on a marketing firm and grab that 200 clients? Sure.
Yeah.
Why am I gonna acquire them?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe the name, maybe
Which,
the domain.
If they only have 200, that's a reason. Yeah.
So like
There's different elements to it.
there's just an open book of things you can do.
What about the future? We're going to close with this. Tell me what's next for Master Touch. I mean, you're in Broward County. Well, you even said Miami you'll go to for jobs.
Nowadays, I only go if it's a high-end job.
Yeah.
The future, I want to put every procedure in place. My growth has made me go back a little bit and learning and restructuring because growth is a pain.
Yeah.
Like your procedures
Everybody
are always
sees you get
breaking.
big, it's not always perfect.
Correct.
Yeah,
And
there's
then
a lot
you've
of
got
headaches.
good guys, bad
Yeah.
guys that will come in that
Yeah.
mess things up. So right now, the future for us is we want to do a certain amount of pulls, do them fast, but literally reduce the amount of mistakes we make throughout. We don't want to be the biggest guy. We don't. We want to be the guy that everybody trusts,
Mhm.
that delivers a good time, that if I'm out 2 years, it's okay. They'll wait because they know what they're
Yeah.
going to get. So my goal is to be a solid company in Broward County and Palm Beach that they know it's going to be reputable.
That has
That it's
high
not.
demand based on results, which is what you're building to. It's not about
I don't-
volume. That's
I don't
interesting.
want to. I don't want to be. I don't want to deliver 1,000 pools.
Mm-mm.
I want to know who my customers are.
So when you say procedures and processes, you're talking about let's be more efficient.
I want to
by
have a
building this
camera.
pool.
I want to have a camera in every pool. Why? Because I want to know every process of that pool. I want to know if there's trash left in the wrong place. Why is it there? So I don't do it in the next pool. If there's a water bottle that were left in the grass, why did it get left in there? I want to give a full experience where I'm willing to pay more to get
Yeah,
the, like,
that's great.
I'm short, right? So I order pants from a specific place because I don't want to go to the lady to fix the size of my pants. but I'll pay more for the pins
Yep.
because I know when they come in, it's going to be the right size.
I mean, look, restaurants are a perfect example. You're going to spend more money and go there because you're the experience.
I go to Livello in Coral Springs.
The best.
It's an expensive restaurant.
It is expensive.
But I go there. It's
Bruno's
the best food ever.
And then the serving, everything. Yeah.
But
That's
like, I'll go to a different place and I'm like, I don't like it.
Yeah.
So I don't want to save the money.
That's right.
Because I don't know if you're like me. I hate going to the mall. Because it takes me forever to buy something.
Yeah.
So if I know I only like black shirts and white. So I'll order the same shirts, 20 of them. Because if they go bad, I just trash them. And I don't have to buy it for...
Right.
Because my time is so valuable that I don't want to be there. Like, if I'm going...
Amazon's in front of your house all the time.
Every day. I joke around saying Jeff Bezos calls me all the time. He's like, you just won a couple more shares because you just bought half of the Amazon because my wife is number one fan. I try to buy time.
Yeah.
If I go to Bruno, I'm like, Bruno, I'm coming in there. And I don't want to wait a 10-minute. I just want to sit down. My appetizer is this, and I know what I'm going to get. Because I'm in and out. Also, I don't want to sit there for 2 hours unless I want to spend time with the wife.
Yeah.
But I try to do things that it's
efficiency.
Correct.
And that's
so
what
I can
you're
be being productive.
Yeah. I love it, man. That's a good way to finish, man. Man, what an honor it is, Nilson, having you on. And I'm excited to work with you this year in 2025 and help you basically with your business, and help you grow.
I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to what the future holds for us.
Yes, sir.
I'm always learning whatever I can. You've done it a few times. You've grew and you sold and etc. So always willing to learn. Thank you so much for having me here. And
Appreciate
this is it.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.